There's nothing more dramatic and more spectacular in basketball than a clutch shot in the playoffs, especially if it's also a buzzer beater. Here are the best NBA game winners and clutch shots of each season from 2011 until 2021, together with some honorable mentions. 2011, Dirk Nowitzki. The Miami Heat took a 1-0 series lead in the 2011 Finals against the Mavericks and had a 15-point lead with 6 minutes to go in Game 2. But Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs orchestrated a spectacular comeback and tied the game in the final moments. Dirk scored the last 9 points for the Mavs, including a beautiful hesitation spin and layup against Chris Bosh with 3 seconds remaining, which proved to be the game winner. 2012, entire Game 6 by LeBron. The 2012 NBA playoffs offered plenty of excitement, drama, and clutch moments, but we haven't seen a single game winner at the buzzer. Iguodala made 2 clutch free throws to edge out the Bulls. KD and Harden made several clutch shots on the Thunder's way to the finals, and Paul Pierce and KG still resembled their prime versions. But the story of the playoffs is definitely LeBron James, his first title, and the Eastern Finals against the Celtics. He was playing against a tough defensive team filled with Hall of Famers in their building with his back against the wall in a win-or-go-home scenario. He gave the Celtics one mean look before the game and never smiled once during. It was all business, and the King delivered the best game of his career, 45 points on 74% shooting, with 15 rebounds and 5 assists, until the game was a blowout. It was one of the most clutch 48 minutes anyone has ever played. Still, if we have to pick one exact shot, a good selection would be the go-ahead 3 LeBron made in the final minutes of Game 4 of the Finals against the Thunder, after he was visibly limping because of leg cramps. 2013, Ray Allen. The NBA staff has already started bringing out the Larry O'Brien Trophy and preparing the title ceremony, while Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals was still on. And who could blame them, because the Spurs had a big lead and had controlled the entire game with a 3-2 series lead. But after a few desperation buckets from LeBron, the Heat got within 3, and then the announcer Mike Breen said these legendary words: "Rebound Bosh, back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang, tie game." It was the most famous bang of Breen's career and the most important and clutch 3 of Ray Allen's. 2014, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard now has a long history of making big shots in the playoffs, but before 2014, the general public wasn't yet acquainted with his clutch gene. The stage was set for it to shine after Houston took a 2-point lead with .9 left on the clock. Dame got free at the 3-point line, let it fly, and won a first playoff series for Portland after 14 years. And Dame time was now in full effect. 2015, Chris Paul. There were plenty of heroics and game winners in the 2015 playoffs. Paul Pierce called game when he was in Washington. Derrick Rose reminded everybody what kind of a cold-blooded assassin he was before all the injuries. And then LeBron James reminded Rose and his coach David Blatt that he's LeBron James and that he should always get the ball in the final seconds. But the one game winner that stuck with me the most is the Chris Paul layup over Tim Duncan, his Wake Forest brother. It was Game 7 of the first round. CP was hampered with a hamstring injury, but he proved that he is a point god and a tough SOB. Paul persevered and clinched the series with 1 second remaining on the shot clock. CP and the Clippers would later inexplicably lose in the next round after leading 3-1, but that's another story for another day. 2016, Kyrie Irving. Every basket is worth the same in the first and the last minute of the game, technically speaking. And even though every basketball play has its value in the final score, some plays carry more weight by their effect on both teams. The astounding block of LeBron James on Andre Iguodala was one of those value plays. It was a desperate run by the best player on the court, chasing after a broken play with 2 minutes left on the clock. The play showed LeBron's athletic excellence, clutch factor, and almost death-defying willingness to win, even if it meant sprinting like a madman in the 47th minute, when most players would have given up. 1 minute later, LeBron gave the ball to Kyrie and let the best ball handler in NBA history have his dance. Kyrie made a move on Steph and then drained the 3 that put the Cavs out of reach for the Warriors, completing a miraculous comeback after being down 3-1 in the finals. 2017, Kevin Durant. The 2017 Golden State Warriors are the best team of all time, in my opinion, and their shooting prowess with KD, Steph, and Klay was simply unbeatable during their 3-year run. Golden State swept the first 3 rounds of the playoffs in a dominant fashion before they met the LeBron James and Kyrie Irving-led Cavaliers. Against the Cavs, they were challenged, but KD proved why he is the biggest cheat code in the entire league and why the Warriors' death lineup was so devastating for everybody. After they took care of business at home, the Warriors came to Cleveland with a 2-0 lead and 14 playoff wins in a row. But that guy LeBron James is one resilient MF. He and Kyrie had Cleveland in the lead for the majority of Game 3, and it seemed like the Warriors had finally met a worthy opponent. And then it happened. Durant strolled over the court and simply pulled up over a helpless LeBron to put the Warriors in the lead for the final minute. No defense can guard a pull-up three by a 7-footer from 25 feet away, and this shot drained the oxygen out of the arena and proved to be the shot to put the Warriors over the top and give them an insurmountable 3-0 series lead. 2018, LeBron James. In Game 3 of the 2018 Finals, KD repeated his clutch shot from Game 3 of the 2017 Finals, almost from the same exact spot on the floor. It was another dagger through the heart of all Cavs fans. But because the Warriors were so dominant and had swept Cleveland in the Finals, we've decided to give the 2018 Clutch Award to LeBron James. It's only right, considering how he dragged Cleveland to the Finals practically by himself, averaging 34 points on 54% shooting, along with 9 rebounds and 9 assists on average. He hit a plethora of clutch shots during those playoffs, namely a buzzer-beating 3 against Indiana to take pivotal Game 5, and the spectacular game-winning one-legged running floater against Toronto. 2019, Kawhi Leonard. The word process has a negative connotation in Philadelphia, as it marks the years of tanking for the 76ers to nab high draft picks and eventually win the title. The first part worked, as Philly managed to get 3 number-1 picks in 4 years. However, the last time the 76ers made it past the second round was in 2001, when Allen Iverson was the league MVP. The closest they got was 2019. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons got the help of Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline, and the team looked like they could finally contend for the title and complete the process. Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors awaited in the second round, and the series went to Game 7, which was a proper nail-biter. Teams exchanged the lead throughout the game, and Jimmy Butler tied the score at 90 with 4 seconds to go. Then, Kawhi got the ball at the top of the key, and he made a move to the right, closely guarded by Simmons and Embiid. As the buzzer sounded, the ball was still in the air, only to land on the rim not once, not twice, but 4 times. After 4 clanks, it finally dropped through the basket. The Raptors won the series and would win the title that year, while the process is still ongoing in Philadelphia. 2020, Anthony Davis. The LA Lakers managed to get Anthony Davis for a king's ransom before the 2020 season, but their investment quickly paid dividends. The Brow played excellent all year, propelled the Lakers to the #1 seed, and was a major contributor on their road to the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Defensively, he was the best player in the 2020 playoffs, patrolling the paint with his quick movement and Stretch Armstrong arms. However, he surprised the most on offense, making jumpers almost automatically. In the conference finals versus the Nuggets, the Lakers took Game 1, but they were on their way to losing Game 2, trailing by 1 point with 2 seconds remaining. But Davis got the ball for the 3 and sank a game-winning buzzer beater to give LA a 2-0 series lead. It was the most clutch shot of the 2020 bubble playoffs, with the honorable mention going to LeBron James and Jimmy Butler's clutch battle in the finals, and Jamal Murray's and Donovan Mitchell's duel in the first round. 2021, Giannis Antetokounmpo. For a split second, it seemed like Kevin Durant's heroic performance in Game 7 of the Eastern Semis would get the icing on the cake, and that his turnaround jumper won a series at the buzzer, which would also rank him at the top of this list. However, his toe was on the line, making his clutch basket a 2, not a 3, and sending the game to overtime. There, he couldn't solve the Bucks by himself, and Giannis and company made it to the conference finals and then the finals. The Suns vs. Bucks was the finals matchup absolutely nobody could predict at the start of the season, but it offered plenty of excitement and a lot of clutch plays. From Devin Booker's tough jumpers and Chris Middleton's timely plays, we still picked the shining moment of the finals MVP. Drew Holiday stole the ball from Booker, and Antetokounmpo sprinted the length of the floor faster than anybody, like he often does. Giannis finished the transition with an alley-oop over Chris Paul, which sealed Game 5 of the finals for the Bucks.